Malik and Nyota, an African billionaire couple, were pioneers in the clean energy industry. Their vast wealth was not just a result of the multinational corporations they built but also their wisdom, compassion, and relentless efforts toward a sustainable world. Their endeavors ranged from transforming urban industrial zones to bringing light and hope to remote villages that had never seen electricity. Today marked a special occasion, their 20th wedding anniversary. To celebrate, Malik and Nyota decided on a once-in-a-lifetime journey aboard their private jet, Wings of Hope. This plane was more than just a mode of transport, it was a symbol of their aspirations and unyielding dreams. Every detail, from its sleek exterior to its luxurious interior, was meticulously designed to reflect their refined taste and core values. The planned journey would take them over some of the continent's most breathtaking landscapes, from golden savannas to majestic mountain ranges. On board, the atmosphere was filled with excitement and joy. Malik, with his calm and thoughtful demeanor, shared ambitious plans for the future. He spoke about expanding their charitable projects, especially building schools in impoverished rural areas where children often had to walk for hours to attend class. Nyota, a sharp and resilient woman, added her ideas, from providing scholarships to launching vocational training programs. High above the earth, Wings of Hope soared gracefully like a free bird, carrying dreams and ambitions. But their joy was short-lived. A few hours into the flight, the clear skies suddenly turned dark. Ominous clouds gathered, and the sound of thunder echoed through the air. The pilot announced over the intercom that they were entering a storm and instructed everyone to fasten their seatbelts. Not long after, a fierce storm struck with unexpected ferocity. Powerful winds shook the plane violently, tossing it around like a small boat in a raging ocean. Every jolt and lurch sent a wave of fear through the passengers and crew. Malik and Nyota clutched each other's hands tightly, trying to stay calm amidst the chaos and panic around them. Suddenly, a loud explosion came from the right engine. The pilot declared an emergency. The engine had failed, and the plane was rapidly losing altitude. Wings of Hope, once a symbol of safety and optimism, now faced the wrath of nature's fury. The crew did everything they could, but the storm gave them no chance to recover. In the final moments, Malik turned to Nyota, his eyes filled with love and determination. He promised that no matter what happened, they would face it together. Nyota, tears streaming down her face, tried to smile as she gripped her husband's hand, silently conveying her trust in him and in everything they had built together. The plane, unable to withstand the storm's relentless power, plummeted into a dense jungle below. The sound of the rushing wind was a haunting melody, mixed with the crash of trees as the aircraft tore through the canopy. A devastating impact followed, plunging the billionaire couple and the crew into the cold darkness of the wilderness. At that moment, everything fell silent. No more engine noise, no more screams, only the sound of raindrops pattering on the leaves and the wind whistling through the branches. Malik and Nyota, along with their crew, seemed to have vanished into the heart of the forest. The once mighty Wings of Hope was now a smoldering wreck, lying desolate amidst the wild. Yet, within the darkness, a faint glimmer of light remained. That light was the miraculous survival of the billionaire couple, who were about to embark on an unexpected journey where courage, love, and kindness would forever change their destiny. The catastrophic crash left Malik and Nyota in critical condition. The once mighty jet was now a charred wreck amidst the dense jungle. But by some miracle, the billionaire couple survived. However, they were gravely injured and unconscious, lying vulnerable in the vast wilderness where no sign of civilization could be found. Their fragile lives hung by a thread, relying solely on a miracle they could not foresee. Not far from the crash site, a 14-year-old homeless boy named Kito was wandering through the jungle. Life's hardships had molded Kito into a resilient survivor, relying on his ability to hunt and forage for food in the wild. He roamed from one place to another, with no home and no family. His survival instincts and unyielding spirit had become his sole companions in a harsh and unforgiving world. That day, while searching for food, Kito noticed a plume of smoke rising from the forest. Initially, he thought it might be a forest fire, but as he approached, he discovered a crashed plane. The scene was both terrifying and surreal, pieces of metal scattered around, with thick black smoke curling into the air. As Kito moved closer, he heard faint groans coming from the wreckage. He found two survivors, Malik and Nyota, in critical condition. They were covered in blood and dirt, their clothes torn and bodies battered. Despite his young age, Kito immediately recognized the urgency of the situation and sprang into action. With his small yet determined hands, Kito mustered all his strength to pull Malik and Nyota out of the wreckage. He knew leaving them near the smoldering remains of the plane would only increase their risk of burns or attacks from wild animals. Though exhausted, Kito refused to give up. He quickly scouted the area and found a safer spot away from the crash site. In the dense jungle, Kito found a small clearing where he could construct a makeshift shelter using leaves and branches. This humble shelter became their only refuge in the days that followed. After securing the area, Kito began searching for medicinal plants he had learned about during his years of surviving in the wilderness. Kito chewed leaves with anti-inflammatory properties and applied them to their wounds. He also tore pieces of fabric from their torn clothes to bandage the more severe injuries. His methods were crude but effective, preventing infections and offering some relief to the injured couple. The first few days were the most challenging. Malik and Nyota were too weak to eat or drink, so Kito patiently fed them small sips of spring water he fetched from a nearby stream. To provide food, Kito ventured deeper into the jungle, climbing trees and hunting small animals like rabbits and birds. He also gathered wild fruits that he knew were safe to eat. Every day, Kito did his best to bring back enough food and water to sustain them. As time went on, Kito's care extended beyond their physical well-being. Despite his solitary life, Kito had a kind and empathetic heart. Whenever Malik or Nyota opened their eyes, he greeted them with a reassuring smile and words of encouragement, telling them they would recover. He shared stories of his life, of how he had survived through the toughest times. His simple words brought hope and strength to the couple, who were teetering on the edge of despair. Malik and Nyota, despite their physical pain, began to feel a profound connection to the boy. In Kito, they saw not only their savior, but also an extraordinary individual, a boy with courage, intelligence, and a compassionate spirit that left an indelible mark on their hearts. For an entire week, Kito was their sole source of support. He cared for them with everything he could gather, showing remarkable bravery and selflessness despite the dangers and exhaustion he faced. These days were not just a battle for survival but also a journey of building trust and forging a deep bond between three people from entirely different worlds. As Malik and Nyota slowly regained their strength, they could not stop thinking about Kito's kindness and courage. They realized that in their darkest hour, it was the compassion of a homeless boy that had reignited their hope and given them a second chance at life. Kito, despite his young age, proved that kindness and resilience could overcome even the greatest adversity. His actions not only changed the fate of the billionaire couple but also set the stage for a transformation in his own life. After a long and grueling week of survival in the jungle, Malik and Nyota finally regained enough strength to stand. Though their bodies still ached with pain, their spirits were stronger than ever. Thanks to Kito's unwavering care and determination, they had overcome the life-threatening ordeal and found the inner strength to continue their fight for survival. Malik looked at Kito with profound gratitude and admiration. He knew that without this boy, both he and Nyota would not have made it out alive. Nyota, with a maternal instinct, felt the warmth and kindness radiating from Kito, a boy who had treated them like family despite his own harsh circumstances. When they were able to speak, Malik and Nyota expressed their heartfelt thanks to Kito. With a serious and sincere voice, Malik placed a hand on Kito's shoulder and said, "You saved our lives, not just with your strength but with your compassionate heart. We will never forget what you've done for us. From this moment on, you will never have to face life alone." Nyota, smiling through tears, added, "Kito, you've taught us a valuable lesson in kindness. We promise that your life will change from today onward. You will have a home, a family, and a future you truly deserve." Though Kito was accustomed to being on his own and never expected anything in return, he felt a warmth in his heart. He said nothing, simply bowing his head and gripping his hands tightly, moved by the sincerity of two people who had once seemed like they belonged to a completely different world. At that very moment, another miracle occurred. A rescue team, following the faint distress signal from the plane, finally arrived at the crash site. The sound of helicopters echoed through the jungle, bringing hope and salvation to the stranded group. As the rescue team approached, Malik made it clear that Kito would be going with them. He insisted that the boy, who had not only saved their lives but had become part of their family, would not be left behind. To the rescue team, the 14-year-old boy, frail yet resilient, was a hero, a living testament to the power of kindness and perseverance. The journey back to the city marked a significant turning point in Kito's life. For the first time, he experienced safety and love, things he had lost when he became an orphan after his parents were killed in a tribal conflict. In the protective embrace of Malik and Nyota, Kito realized he was no longer alone. When the rescue helicopter landed in the city, Malik and Nyota made an important announcement. They had decided to adopt Kito. This decision was not just an act of gratitude, but a heartfelt desire to give the boy a chance at the life he deserved, a life filled with love, support, and opportunities. At Malik and Nyota's luxurious estate, Kito began a new chapter. He no longer had to worry about finding food or shelter. Malik and Nyota ensured that he had access to one of the best schools in the city, where he could discover his true potential. In the early days, Kito found himself overwhelmed by the unfamiliar comforts of his new life. From a boy who once hunted in the jungle to survive, he now had a warm room, a soft bed, and nutritious meals. But above all, he felt the care and affection of Malik and Nyota, something he had been missing since the loss of his parents. Malik, now a father figure, taught Kito not only academic knowledge but also life lessons about kindness and responsibility. Nyota, with her nurturing love, cared for Kito in every possible way, from preparing meals to listening to his thoughts and fears. As Kito settled into his new life, his talents began to shine. He learned quickly and demonstrated exceptional intelligence and resourcefulness, impressing both his teachers and classmates. Malik and Nyota were immensely proud, seeing in Kito not just a child but a living example of the power of resilience and kindness. The memories of the jungle still lingered in their minds, but they were no longer images of pain and fear. Instead, they were memories of connection, humanity, and a promise fulfilled. Malik and Nyota didn't stop at changing Kito's life, they extended their promise to others. They began working on a project to build a school in Kito's hometown, providing opportunities for other children to transform their lives. Just as Kito's life had been transformed through revival and love, Kito's life entered a new chapter filled with hope and endless possibilities. No longer just the boy who was saved, Kito became an inspiration for others, proving that acts of kindness and courage could spark change that reached far beyond what anyone could imagine. While Kito was growing into a bright and capable young man, Malik and Nyota kept their second promise, building a school in Kito's hometown. This wasn't just an ordinary school but a comprehensive education and support center, designed to provide not only knowledge but also care and guidance to help children develop holistically. Kito, filled with love and gratitude, became an integral part of this project. Despite his young age, he contributed innovative ideas and shared valuable insights about his hometown. He spoke to Malik and Nyota about the struggles faced by children in the area, from the lack of schools to the shortage of books and teachers. These insights ensured that the project was not only completed efficiently, but also addressed the community's actual needs. As the education center began to take shape, Kito often joined trips to his hometown. He didn't just oversee the construction, but also lent a hand to the villagers. For Kito, this wasn't merely about fulfilling his adoptive parents' promise, but also a way to give back to the land that had been his home during his most challenging times. The inauguration day of the education center was a monumental event. Hundreds of villagers gathered to witness this transformative moment. Malik and Nyota stood proudly on stage, beaming with happiness at their family's achievement. But the person who drew the most attention was none other than Kito. Now grown and confident, Kito stepped onto the stage to thunderous applause. Standing beside Malik and Nyota, his eyes shone with pride. He recounted the journey that had changed his life, from a homeless boy fighting to survive in the jungle to becoming part of a loving family, and now an inspiration to others. In his speech, Kito spoke about kindness, courage, and the power of promises. He emphasized that Malik and Nyota's compassion had not only saved his life but also helped him recognize his own value and the importance of helping others. When I lay in the jungle, I never imagined that I would have the chance to stand here today, Kito said. But because of the love and dedication of my adoptive parents, I have not only survived but also found the strength to change my life and the lives of many others. After Kito's heartfelt speech, the education center was officially opened. The first group of children entered the classrooms with bright smiles, carrying hopes for a brighter future. For Malik, Nyota, and Kito, this moment was proof that kindness and love could truly change the world. The story concludes with an image of Kito standing between Malik and Nyota, holding their hands as they look at the newly built school. Three individuals, from completely different backgrounds, had found each other through an extraordinary journey and worked together to build a new future, not just for themselves but for an entire community. Kito's story is not just one of survival, but a testament to the transformative power of compassion and the fulfillment of heartfelt promises. Thank you for staying with us until the end of this meaningful story. The journey of Kito, Malik, and Nyota is not just about compassion and revival but a powerful reminder that love and kindness can truly change the world. If this story touched your heart, please share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your feelings and reflections. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss more inspiring stories. Let's spread this message to even more people. Thank you, and see you in the next story.